So welcome, my friends, to another time with Dunieski Otano, learning and learning English all the time. Today, we're going to learn about permission, how to ask for permission in English. Okay, for that, we're going to be using several modal verbs that are going to be very important for you in your life when you speak English. Okay, so enjoy the video that you're about to see, and I hope you learn a lot today. Enjoy. Hey, my friend, here we are again. Today we're going to learn how to use modal verbs in English to express permission. Okay, so I'm going to be teaching you how to use modal verbs from the least formal to the most formal one. Okay, so the first one that we have is the modal verb can. Can is used for many things, but one of them is permission. That's the one we're going to be focusing on today. Okay, so the first example that I have is, can I go to the bathroom? Can I go to the bathroom? This is something that you use when you are in a classroom and then you talk to your instructor to see if you can go to the bathroom, and you ask him or her for permission. Okay, so this is a yes no question, so the intonation is going to be rising. Can I go to the bathroom? Can I go to the bathroom? Okay, so the second example is, can I go home? Can I go home? Can I go home? Let's just think that you are a little sick and that you're not feeling well when you are at work or at school, and that you talk to your supervisor or you talk to your instructor and then ask them to let you go home. So you can say, can I go home? Can I go home? So now the next one is could. Could is a little more formal than can. Okay, so the first example that we have is, could I please use your computer? Could I please use your computer? So notice that we use here the word please to make the permission softer. So we are making this a little more polite. Okay, now we have another example which is basically the same, which is putting the word please at the end of the sentence, of the question. Instead of putting it here between the subject and the verb, we're just putting it at the end of the question. This is basically the same, we're just emphasizing please in a different way. Okay, so could, don't forget, could is more formal than can. The next one that we have is may. So may, it's more formal than could and can. Okay, so the first example that we have is, may I leave? May I leave? You're asking for permission here. Don't forget that may is more formal than could and can. Okay, so the first example that we have is, the second example that we have is, may I give you my opinion? May I give you my opinion? Okay, so maybe you wonder, Dunieski, when do we use the can and could and may? Well, I'm telling you, it's just formality. This is less formal than could and even less formal than may. So it all depends to whoever you're talking to. Don't forget, it's just a matter of formality. Okay, the next one that we have, which is even more formal than may, can, and could, is do you mind if? Do you mind if? Okay, when do you use do you mind if? We use do you mind if you think that the other person is going to be a little upset if you use or ask for that permission. So the example that we have here is, do you mind if I leave this door closed? Do you mind if I leave this door closed? So here we're asking, don't forget that all of these questions are yes no questions, so the intonation has to be rising. Do you mind if I leave this closed? This door closed, I'm sorry. Do you mind if I leave this door closed? Okay, And then we have another example, which is another yes no question, which reads, do you mind if I use your car? Do you mind if I use your car? Okay, so here we have a question, yes no question. Another one that is even more formal than do you mind if is would you mind if? Would you mind if? The first example is, would you mind if I used your classroom? Would you mind if I used your classroom? And the next example is, would you mind if I spoke to your mom? Would you mind if I spoke to your mom? Notice here that we have to use the verb in past. The verb in past, because this is part of the conditional type 2. You have to watch my class on conditionals. This is conditional type 2, so the verb has to be used in past. Okay, so we have here several answers that we use for these 2 of 4 questions with the verb mind. The first one is not at all. The other one is not a problem. The other one is go ahead. And the other one is sure, why not? Okay, so see that here we don't answer no, I don't. So what do we say? Not at all. Okay, because this verb, if you answer negative, then the answer is positive. I don't know if you understand. If you say not at all, what you mean is, okay, no problem, leave the door closed. It's not a problem. Okay, so the answer has to be negative for you to give permission to the person. I don't know if you understand that. If you understand it, that's the way it is. Okay, so we don't say, because if you say yes I do, what you're telling the person is basically, do not leave the door closed, leave it open. Okay, so you're rejecting that, and if you're accepting, then the answer has to be negative. Okay, so tips for you, a tip for you. This is the way you answer a question like this with the verb mind. Okay, when someone is asking for permission. Not at all, not a problem, go ahead, sure, why not? Hey, Dunieski, would you mind if you explained this exercise a little bit better? Of course, not at all. Okay, sure, why not? Not a problem, go ahead. I would explain it to you. That is not a problem. Okay, so just bear in mind, negative answer, positive. Okay, thank you very much. I hope you understood this and that you have learned a little bit more about how to ask permission in English. So I wish you the best, and don't forget, practice, 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 because practice makes perfect. Goodbye, see you later. Hey my friends, how was your learning today? How was your learning experience? Did you learn something new? Of course you did. Always with Dunieski, you're learning, learning, learning. Okay, so I hope that now you know how to ask for permission in English. Don't forget the modal verbs that we learned. Okay, so practice, 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 because practice makes perfect. And very important, don't forget to subscribe in this video. Okay, and leave your comments about it. So have a great day, a blessed day, and I hope to see you again in a class with Dunieski Otano.